and you, who should have been long dead, are blushing, looking helplessly at this group of people at the door who have seen a ghost. Just then, Hoshino's icy voice rings out. Have you seen enough? At this moment, the woman lazily lifts her eyelids. Get out. The housekeeper is so scared she breaks into a cold sweat, leading the group and rolling away even faster than they came. The door is closed, leaving only the two of you in the room. You feel as if you are being roasted on a fire, so you try to pull your hand back and plead in a low voice. Miss Hoshi, could you please get up first? My legs. Upon hearing this, Hoshino lets you go. She sits up slowly. Last night's severe pain has disappeared completely. This is the first time in 3 years she has slept for a full 5 hours. Next, her gaze falls on you again. Because of poor circulation, your legs are still trembling slightly. You look weak, yet full of tenacious vitality. You are her medicine. The next second, Hoshino reaches out a fair finger and plays with a strand of hair in front of your forehead. Numb? Her lips curl into a hook, her eyes dark and terrifying. Then you don't need to leave. You look up abruptly. What? I gave the Moku family a chance. Hoshino's fingertips slide down your cheek and stop at your neck where the finger marks were left last night, her movements as gentle as if touching a treasure. You walked in yourself. From today on, you will live in this room. She pronounces your fate word by word. You are not allowed to go anywhere. After saying this, Hoshino stands up, stepping barefoot over the debris of the antiques, as elegant as a queen. Then, she picks up a string of cold white Bodhi beads and wraps them around her wrist. In an instant, the clingy, gloomy lunatic from just before disappears. Instead, it is the aloof. If it weren't for the room in ruins, you would even think that everything last night was... You support yourself against the cabinet and stand up with difficulty, your feet feeling as though ants are gnawing at them. Looking at the person before you, who seems like a completely different person, the chill deepens in your heart. Therefore, you take a deep breath and muster your last bit of courage. I delivered the medicine. Am I? Hoshino's movements in straightening her cuffs are practiced. She turns around, her crimson eyes looking at you indifferently. Go. She chews on this word playfully then, as if hearing some joke. The Moku family. Your fingers curl up. You don't need to worry about this, as long as I pay off the debt. Hoshino casually pulls a thin sheet of paper from a stack of documents. Your eyelids twitch. That turns out to be the debt repayment agreement signed by your stepfather, your contract of indenture. That huge multi-million figure weighs on you like a mountain, making it hard to breathe. Seeing Hoshino holding that paper, waving it nonchalantly. When the Moku family sent you in, they gave me this. You study medicine, you should understand equivalent exchange, right? These words make your heart tighten, and an ominous premonition wells up. Just then, with a crisp snap, Hoshino actually pulls out a silver lighter, her thumb lightly scraping it, and a ghostly blue flame flares up instantly. The flickering firelight is reflected in her unfathomable eyes. What are you going to do? However, Hoshino doesn't answer at all. She actually burns the IOUs worth tens of millions right in front of you. The flame instantly devours the paper. Under the firelight, half of her face is in the light, as stunning as a demon. You instinctively rush forward, wanting to grab it. But everything is too late. The only proof of your redemption turns to ashes right before your eyes, until the last spark extinguishes. Hoshino lets go. The ashes scatter onto the carpet like snow. Tens of millions just burn away like this. Gone. Hoshino pats her hands, as casual as discussing the weather. The Moku family doesn't owe me anything anymore. You blankly look at the ashes on the ground, your mind completely blank. Doesn't owe anything? You're free. You snap your head up, your voice trembling. Can I leave? Who would have thought that Hoshino suddenly lets out a low laugh, followed by taking long strides toward you step by step, until your back presses against the cold wall, with nowhere left to retreat. Just then, Hoshino stops in front of you, abruptly leaning down with both hands braced on either side of your body, a domineering wall pin that completely cages you in. Are you out of your mind from studying? Her eyes lock onto you tightly. I burned the IOU because I don't lack that bit of money, but that doesn't mean you can leave. Your breath catches. Then you... You cured my headache, Hoshino interrupts you. her cold fingers slowly raising to rest on the red marks left on your neck from last night. Those few marks on your fair skin look exceptionally glaring and particularly intimate. Her fingertips, carrying light calluses, gently rub against those red marks, causing a shudder to ripple through you. For a patient, you are the only special medicine. Hoshino's eyes are deep, the corners of her lips curling into a morbid arc. How could I let you run away? Your whole body freezes, a chill shooting straight from the soles of your feet to your crown. She wants to monopolize you. You bite your teeth. Miss Hoshi, I am not a medicine. My name is Moku. Hoshino's fingers smoothly move upward, pinching your soft earlobe to play with it. Moku. These two words slip from her thin lips. Nice name, good texture. Hoshino instantly can be kept as regains composure / restrains playfulness. Her playfulness, her gaze cold, domineering, and unquestionable. You are a person of Hoshian. Your task is only one, cure my illness. The housekeeper will move your things to the 3rd floor. You will live next door to me. You open your eyes wide. Isn't the 3rd floor a forbidden area? Hoshino turns and walks away, her posture as upright as a pine. When she reaches the door, she turns her head slightly to say to you, for you, she suddenly lets out a cold laugh, a laugh that plunges you into an ice cellar. Remember, be at my beck and call. If I have a headache and don't see you, I don't mind making the Moku family pay back every principal and interest. With a loud bang, the door is heavily shut. You lean against the wall alone, your legs weak, looking at the mess all over the floor and the pile of ashes, wanting to cry without tears. She is simply a complete lunatic. Not only did you fail to escape, but you upgraded directly from free roaming to captive rearing, and even have to live next door to this moody female tyrant. You are forcibly moved into the forbidden area of Hoshian. The stairs leading here are covered with dark gray, long-haired carpet, like a tongue leading into an abyss, swallowing all sound. The whole process is eerily quiet. Several servants, like mime actors, hold your pitifully few pieces of luggage, their movements as gentle as if holding fragile foam. The string in your heart tightens further until the moment you step onto the 3rd floor hallway, a suffocating vacuum feeling rushes over you. The decor here is gloomier and colder than the 2nd floor. The walls are covered with dark, sound-absorbing cotton, the floor is covered with woolen carpet several inches thick, and even the windows are tightly covered with dark velvet curtains. This place is like a huge soundproof box, or rather a cage imprisoning a monster. Mr. Moku, this is your room. The housekeeper pushes open a heavy mahogany door. The room is luxurious, but the color tone remains chillingly gray-white. What makes you care the most is the thick wall on the left, because right on the other side is Hoshino's master bedroom. The housekeeper seems to see through your thoughts, her turbid eyes revealing a profound meaning. The young lady is right next door. Although this wall is equipped with top-tier sound insulation, the young lady's hearing is. Therefore, she picks up a pair of white items from the tray and places them by your feet. The soles of those shoes are made of special soft rubber, cushioned with thick cotton. They look lightweight yet act like invisible shackles. These are specially made, soft-soled shoes. You must wear them when moving around on the 3rd floor. The housekeeper lowers her voice as if reading an imperial edict. Please be sure to remember the survival rules of the 3rd floor. Footsteps, the sound of holding things, or even the sound of you swallowing water. She suddenly raises 2 withered fingers, gesturing a despairing number. Must all be kept below 20 decibels. 20 decibels. That is the sound of a needle dropping to the ground. You look at those shoes, your throat tightening, a chill rising from the soles of your feet. What if it accidentally exceeds it? The housekeeper expressionlessly spits out a cold sentence. The last maid who accidentally made a sound was carried out, and no one has ever seen her again. The young lady might spare your life, but the suffering probably cannot be avoided. After speaking, the servants quickly retreat like shadows. In the room, a death-like silence instantly engulfs you. There are no sounds around, only the sound of your own body fluids flowing being infinitely magnified. You take a deep breath and put on those soft-soled shoes. Stepping on the carpet indeed makes no sound at all, like a ghost. You walk to the window wanting some fresh air, but the moment your hand touches the curtain, your movement freezes abruptly. Will the sound of pulling the curtain rail exceed 20 decibels? You dare not gamble. you can only look out through the gap. You can only see the high perimeter walls of Hoshin and electrified barbed wire. At this moment, you realize with utmost clarity that you have become a caged bird. You slowly squat down, opening your battered suitcase. Inside, there are no designer brands, only a few changes of clothes and a few ancient traditional Chinese medicine books. There is also a set of celadon textured medicine jars. That is a keepsake left by your grandmother. Holding it in your hand gives you a reassuring weight. You take out the medicine jars, hugging them tightly to your chest. This is your only weapon and your tool for establishing yourself. You know very well that the dormant evil dragon next door could wake up at any time. For this, you must be prepared at all times to use your medicine to trade for a thread of survival. You lower your eyelashes, your fingertips rubbing the slightly cool medicine stick, a trace of resilience flashing in the depths of your eyes. As long as she doesn't kill you, you can find a way to tame her. Lunchtime arrives quickly. You sit in an oversized dining room, but only feel that this place is like an execution ground. This is Hoshino's requirement. Someone must accompany her to eat. You're separated by 2 meters, and you can even feel the low pressure radiating from her. The whole meal is deathly gloomy. You pinch the silver chopsticks, being extremely careful with every grain of rice you pick up, fearing the chopsticks might touch the bowl and make a sound. Just then, Hoshino suddenly speaks, her voice filled with impatience. A young maid hurries forward, her face full of tension. She is holding a crystal water pot, her hands uncontrollably trembling. Your heart instantly leaps into your throat, instinctively holding your breath. Don't make a sound, whatever you do. However, the exact thing you fear happens. The moment the pot spout nears the rim of the cup, the maid's hand jerks, and with a crisp sound, the rim of the lid knocks against the crystal cup wall. This sound isn't actually loud, but in the pin-drop quiet dining room, it is as sharp as a blade, instantly piercing the silence. The air seems to freeze. The maid is scared out of her wits, her face turning as pale as paper. "Miss." Trembling, she wants to kneel down and beg for mercy, but she no longer has the chance. Hoshino, who was cutting steak, abruptly stops her movements. You watch with your own eyes as the veins on the back of the hand she uses to hold the utensils instantly bulge, and an aura of violence erupts from her. To you, it is just a crisp sound, but to her, who is hyperacusic, it is like countless steel needles fiercely stabbing into her brain. A tooth-achingly metallic screeching sound. The pure silver tableware in her hand is actually bent hard by 2 of her fingers. Next, without even looking at that maid, she simply closes her eyes, pain and disgust appearing on her face, and then she waves her hand extremely coldly, as if shooing away a fly. The next second, 2 ghost-like black-clad bodyguards step forward instantly. One twists the maid's arms behind her back, while the other directly covers her mouth tightly with a black cloth. The maid's eyes widen as she struggles desperately, casting a desperate plea for help in your direction. But you can do nothing. You can only sit rigidly in your chair, watching with your eyes as a living person is silently dragged out of the dining room. In less than 10 seconds, the dining room returns to deathly silence, as if that person never existed. Such are the rules of Hoshin. This is that lunatic's zero tolerance. A chill courses straight from your spine to your crown. You look down at the silver chopsticks in your hand, your fingers trembling violently and uncontrollably. Just now, it was just a water pot knocking. If you are eating and your chopsticks touch the bowl, will the end of being dragged away be yours tomorrow? Just as you are terrified, a cold voice suddenly sounds above your head. Why aren't you eating? You startle, raising your head just in time to meet Hoshino's unfathomable eyes. She releases that ruined piece of tableware, picking up a napkin to wipe her fingers leisurely, as if she had just had someone throw away a bag of garbage. You open your lips, your voice trembling. Hoshino casually tosses away the napkin, leaning back with her lips curving into a cruel arc. Her gaze falls on your trembling hands, her tone indifferent yet dangerous. It's because you are useful, but if you also become useless like trash and get injured. She doesn't finish her sentence, but the freezing intent in her eyes says it all. You grip your chopsticks tightly, your fingernails digging into your palms, using pain to force yourself to stay calm. You cannot shake, and even less can you make mistakes. Beside this lunatic, it is walking a tightrope, wagering your life. After that maid is dragged away, Hoshino's irritability does not subside at all. That crisp sound just now exploded like a nail in her brain. Her auditory nerves are throbbing, hurting as if countless electric drills are drilling into her temples. Clatter. She irritably pushes the dining plate in front of her hard,